Well, hello. Welcome to the somewhat messy world known as my craft room. It probably looks pretty neat from where you are sitting right now because I tidied up the space so you could see what it is I'm trying to show you. My name is Jenny, Vintage Soul Crafter. You may or may not know that, but just so that we are making proper introductions. I have not been in my creative space for quite some time, and because I have gotten so involved with being a vintage seller on Instagram and not so much on Etsy anymore, and that's a story for another day. I do still have an Etsy shop, but I'm not adding anything to it at this particular time. So what I wanted to share with you today, because time is of the essence here, if I post this on Instagram, which I want to do, I only have 10 minutes. So I am in the process and I have very little time to finish this after having put together so many of the pieces for a year now. A junk journal album, kind of a, I don't know, I'll think of the word that I'm trying to use to describe this here as I'm talking. A journal book for my sister for her condo in Hawaii that she co-owns with several other couples, she and her husband. And she is kind enough to invite myself and my friend Bonnie, my Bonnie Wani, hello my Bonnie, who will be making her first trip to Hawaii ever. We'll be staying on Maui, but we're also going to be visiting Kauai, which is really exciting because my sister's never been there either, even though she goes over there quite frequently. And it'll be my second trip only. And so anyhow, I wanted to make this album for her condo, for her to leave there, for other people who maybe rent the place or the other couples that own the place with them, to share their experiences, trips, journeys, tours, etc., photos, and so on. So this right here is a piece of, as you can see, Hawaiian cloth that I got from another Etsy seller. Again, a year plus ago, I started gathering all kinds of vintage Hawaiian ephemera and fabrics and so on. I have two other pieces here that I may or may not use that are also fabrics that are made in Hawaii. I got this one at our local Salvation Army. It's a pair of shorts from Walmart, and they are fantastic. It's just so hard to cut them up because they're perfectly good, but these are made in Hawaii, so I love that about them. 100% cotton, and I love the fabric. And then this is a really cute top that, it's kind of hard for me sometimes to cut these up. I probably won't use this because it's a dark one, obviously, and so yeah, but it's from Kona Malia. Sorry, I probably won't enunciate in proper Hawaiian dialect, but you guys can handle that. So, let me take you in. What I have done is found some old books. Some of them, it all started with a sunset book that I have over here, but in the interest of time, I won't share it with you this time around. This is the Hawaii book. I love how I always read things to you, even though I know you can read it for yourself. Yeah, this is the Hawaii book, and it had just some fabulous pages in it and history. Let's see, do I have it upside down? Yes, I do. Let's turn it over. I started on the first signature, and it's really difficult for me to hold myself back to not add too many of the pages that aren't journaling pages, because I want this to be, it's yearbook size. I wanted it to be substantial, and I wanted it to be a place where they could jot notes and so forth. So, this is the first signature, as I said, and you can see some of the gorgeous, this is one of the pages out of this one, and they're a really nice thickness. Some of them are black and white. I want it to be colorful, but I also wanted to share the history of Hawaii that many of us from the States don't know, and so forth. as well as the part that does affect us in the states. Of course, Hawaii is a state, but I'm talking about I think it's called the contiguous United States, the island of United States, as we should say, continent. We're a continent, right? I'm sorry, I was never good at that. I hate to sound like a dummy, but forgive me. Anyway, so I wanted to tell the story both of the island of Hawaii and the history of that, as well as the story of our portion of the United States. I'm in California, and Pearl Harbor, and so on, without it getting too, dismal and so forth. I mean, this is a vacation book anyway. These pages I pulled out, this is from a 2018, but I love the texture of these papers. It's a calendar, book that I got clearanced at Marshall's. And it's actually for Palm Beach, but it works so well here. And in this first portion, there's a page about pineapples and Hawaii's history of producing pineapples. So, and the colors, and it's cheery, and it gives a place to write and so forth. So anyway, let me go back. Let's see, how many times can I say anyway? An old card, a little tuck spot here. I'm going to move through it kind of quickly. Like I said, a really nice vintage Hawaii postcard. A lot of these items I got from an estate sale, somebody who liked to visit Hawaii a lot. Various different color photos from different books. And yeah, I'm just finished up kind of assembling this particular one. I haven't sewn anything yet. That will be part of little pamphlet flyers that I've included from various different things. I love it because some of these things are places that we're going to be visiting. So I'm sure things have changed quite a bit. You know how I love my bits and pieces. If you've watched any of my other videos where I do flip throughs of some of the junk journals that I've made, a little Hawaii map that I realized I put Oahu on upside down. Oh well, I could probably turn this around. No, because then the other side will be upside down. Oh well, that's okay. Maybe somebody will look at it upside down or write in it upside down. Yeah, fabulous in this book that this came out of. The artwork. Here's some of the history of the Army in Hawaii, and some semi-vintage, probably from the 70s, 80s, cards of the military and Pearl Harbor, little bits and pieces, making into tuck spots, envelopes, journaling spaces, again, brief history of the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps in the Hawaiian Islands. And I have to do, like I said, some of the detail aspects of this still. I mean, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah, I didn't want to disrupt that in any way. And then this really sweet dedication on the inside that I thought would make a perfect inside portion of the album journal. And yeah, it just goes on from there with more history, more places to write. And again, the next part of it will be, getting the sewing in there. It's kind of what I'll do sort of as a last thing. I just love these. This is Old Pioneer Hotel and portions about orchids. Parts of the book I tried to keep together so that they were cohesive. I just kind of envisioned some of the men that stay in the condo as being interested in portions of that, and some of the women as well. That's not to exclude women and say women don't appreciate history and stuff, because certainly I do. I'm one of them women. But I didn't want to make it girly, sweet and fussy and so forth. I wanted it to be a nice mixture of things that both would appreciate and feel honored, both, men and women. This is the other side of the upside down Oahu Island. I don't know, maybe there was a big, wind gust or something and it flipped the island around temporarily or something. I'm being silly and stupid now. And I'm almost out of time. So, as I said, this is the first signature. That you should recognize this little cutie right here. And yeah, I'll keep you posted as I continue to make progress. Okay, I'm back. For those of you who will be watching this on YouTube, I figured I would just continue since I don't have the time constraints. A little bit about the Pioneer Hotel. Fun little brochures about the Kona Coast and so on. I'm excited because we're going to do, on Kauai, we're going to do a river cruise through the Fern Grotto. And I have here some, if I can find them quickly enough in my pile of paraphernalia ephemera that I am including. Well, this isn't really, this is part of it. It's Fern Grotto, an exotic green jungle, lush with ferns and all varieties of tropical growth, is one of the highlights of the visit to the garden island of Kauai. So I didn't even know that this was part of, however that's supposed to be. I'm still not a videographer. Nothing about that has changed. So, yeah, we're going to do this little river cruise that goes through that. And there's the backside. I like this page because it has this glossary of Hawaiian words. Other part of that brochure. And so, yeah. More, I might on some parts of this, I don't know, I might put a little bit of gesso or maybe another page, or I have this, this is from Thailand, this handmade paper, maybe without overdoing it, because I do want it to be colorful and fun as well. And a little tuck spot here. And I'll be tucking in a lot more stuff that I have as well to go with this. Journaling pages. This is from one of the other books that I took apart that had some really nice colorful images in it. Make sure I'm still in frame and you guys can still see my light that I normally use is not working, which is kind of annoying since I haven't had it for that long. This is out of another geography small kind of atlas book, and so this side of the page has interesting things about the fruit canneries in Honolulu and so forth. And then I tucked this piece in here that will have a couple little, let me see if I can get a card here so that I can show you, well, whatever, here. This will have a couple little spots, not here, obviously, for a little secret compartment right in there to stick things in, as well as to journal on. And I like this because it's a legend, an animated map, legend of the animated map, which is not in here. Sometimes I confuse myself because, I take the books apart and I can't keep track of where everything is. It's a wonder that I don't put them together, and I probably have, that seems familiar, backwards, upside down, and sideways. A little tucky spot here, and this is just a page out of a magazine that's, got some cool images and that shades of color that I just love. It's kind of muted and bright all at the same time, if you know what I'm saying. And then the back side of this one page, Merchant Street in Honolulu. I don't know if I'll ever get to any of the big island or to Hawaii, but I always forget it goes this way. So that's Kauai. And this is the animated map that other page was for. Let's see, there I go. Backwards, upside down, and sideways. Okay, so then we move into the second signature. And again, it's, following some sort of a flow, but at the same time keeping it kind of loose and free. And each signature will, so that there's balance when you look at the book from the top. There's a balance of pages and signatures. This is out of one of those fat albums that you would get, like in the, what is this? This is from 1991. And it's, with all the animals, you get those binders, and you would put them in there. Anyway, that matters neither here nor there, miscellaneous details. But my sister has, it's so amazing. I wish you guys could hear it. It's humpback whales. She's snorkeling. So she's snorkeling just off the coast of Maui. And you can hear, and who knows how many hundreds or thousands of miles away the whales are, the humpbacks, but you can hear them calling to each other. That ecosystem sound system that they use, echo sound system that they use. It's just so remarkable, and gosh, it's just I wish you could hear it. Anyway, so I had to include something with humpbacks. And then I think in this one I also have a little bag. I just wanted to add some color. I don't know, I probably won't do anything with that actually, because they can journal on that, but maybe just stick something in there, a little bit more about the military, and mostly for this side of it. Again, I don't want to get too bogged down with military stuff, but at the same time I want to preserve, because this is kind of interesting to read, but maybe just so that, I'm not sure. I had to include sea turtles because my sister loves her sea turtles, and you get to see those when you go snorkeling. And there aren't actually any flamingos, as you probably know, in Hawaii, unless they're at a zoo or something. It's not like they're native, but it's the other side of this. And they're pretty, and they're bright and vibrant, and they're fun. They kind of give that party island tropical feel. Trying to decide what to do with this empty space right here. Maybe gesso it for a journaling spot for them. More journaling pages. Another piece from this calendar organizer, appointment keeper, etc. That was really cool, and that seemed perfect for this. And then I made a little, as you can see, little envelope pocket out of that. This actually, I like this, and I have saved these. These are those bags that you can get, like at Michael's and other places to reuse. And Otis got a hold of this one and tore it apart, but I kept it because I want to actually make passport covers out of some of these, or even traveler's notebook journal covers, because you can wipe them clean. And I mean, they're really, they have such vibrant fun. This is a super cool postcard that you can see the picture, and then it's it's dated, and it has a little note in it. I'm trying to see what the date on it is, and it's not really 1965? I can't really tell. Anyway, gonna do the luau thing this time. One that my sister again hasn't been to. This is, was part of a pack of semi-vintage postcards. This is out of a really extraordinary book that talks about the history of the people and native Hawaiians, and born and raised there, and it has really, I love this creamy texture of this paper. It has some great, just a little tucky in there. I just like the way that looked, so I kept it together. That's part of the Fern Grotto, if you can see that. Journaling space, and I don't know when I'll share this actually on YouTube, because I think my sister gets notifications. Didn't think about that. Well, I might have to wait and just consecutively, because this is going to be done within 2 weeks. I'm supposed to be working on it right now, and instead I'm doing this video. But I'm going to finish this up right now because I'm pretty much at the end. This is sort of where I left off last night, doing the dressing up of it, as they say. I'll put that back there. So yeah, so I really hadn't gotten to this back part of it yet, so that's what I'm going to work on right now. So I better say goodbye, and I'll see you soon with more from this Hawaii album junk journal anthology. No, maybe we'll call it an anthology. Bye.